I done? Just say.
The benevolent find joy in the mountains.
So why did all the natives turn tail and run at people flee?
Ancestor worship.
What?
Rituals.
Juju.
Not to them.
You can't cook at this altitude without a pressure cooker.
Is there a single word which can be used as a guide throughout one's life?
The first choice made was perhaps shoe. Fuel. Way above the tree line. You carry what shoe?
Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Fuel. Is there a problem?
We have to get to the other side by 4 days from now. Back to the tree line, I will be bumming books. Joking.
Where's the ton that pressure cooker? I would have dumped it.
You'd have been eating cold food by now. And the calorific implication, okay.
You know your stuff.
I should do.
Was it like this in the Himalayas?
Himalayas.
What?
The stresses in the first aid.
Oh.
What those things matter to you? Words, sounds, all that.
Oh, yes. Men of wealth make gifts of money, while the benevolent man make gifts of words.
And I make gifts of food. Get that in your neck. And no.
No what?
No, this isn't like my last Himalayas trip.
Nothing like it.
No.
Why?
Is an apple like an orange?
You're beginning to get the idea of Chinese philosophy, James.
Wish you could see the same about your cooking, Xavier.
Well, maybe he does the cooking at home. I never get near the cookpot. And if it's not her, it's her mother.
So, what does Confucius he say about the benevolent man?
A benevolent man is sure to possess courage, but a courageous man does not necessarily possess benevolence.
It's riddles, not philosophy.
No, the problem is in translation, not meaning.
What?
Well, there's really any literal translation from Chinese to English. So, benevolence, it's not really in it. Yin doesn't really mean benevolence, it's just yin.
That helps.
It's like Dao.
What?
Dao, the way.
I thought it was my concern, and yours was the means.
The Dao, it's the way and the means. Dao is indefinable.
That's
It's everything.
everything.
What?
Not exactly specific, is it?
Well, that's the point. Dao is why we're here after all.
Does it matter why we're here if it's non-specific? I'm kidding you.
Well, Dao is forever nameless. No term can be applied to Dao because all terms are specific and it is beyond specificity.
Just as well I've got a map then. Your book of 5,000 characters isn't up to much, is it?
Well, you could think of the Dao De Ching as a map to the soul.
God help the soul there.
Well, there's no God, not in Taoism. It's not a religion. In its pure form, it's a philosophy.
Philosophy? The one thing more baffling than religion. At least religion gives you faith in the bits that don't make sense. And you wondered why I don't think this was like the last Himalayas trip. Discussing philosophy at high altitude wasn't exactly a priority.
I never understood because it's their syndrome, me either. So why do you do it?
Stick to the simple questions, eh?
No, seriously. Why do you do this? What's your motivation?
Result from effort.
What?
Money.
No way. No way would anyone but a masochist go through all this just for money.
Can I point out we've hardly started yet?
Yeah, and I've had enough of climbing already. I wasn't for that.
But succeeding where others have failed.
No, we're going where other people have never been. Finding out things that they think are impossible. Turning legend into history.
I climbed my first mountain when I was 7. Buchel Etty Moor in Scotland, Glencoe.
Why?
Because my dad took me. Instead of Christmas. He wasn't big in celebrations, my old man.
And how was it?
Amazing. Cold, icy, freezing, terrifying, but you know.
Better than turkey and all the
You
trimmings.
kidding me? He bought me an ice axe for my Christmas. I hate to think what uses that would have been put to over the festive season if we hadn't got out of the house.
So, climbing became an escape.
Not an escape, no. A reason for living. Climbed Mont Blanc when I was 12. Now that was a serious rush.
But which bit? I mean, most of it's just hard work and grit and determination and pushing on when you
You don't have to tell me. Listen, have you ever stood in a high summit? No. Then you wait. You see, it's beyond words.
The words of daily life are powerless to describe the really important levels of experience. One must transcend all these to gain true freedom.
That's the sort of thing, I guess.
That's Chuang Tzu. Not me, by the way.
Chuang Tzu.
One of the ancient texts. Is there any more of that? That whatever that thing was?
It's nameless, like the Tao.
I'm wrecked.
It should be easy.
We're still going up though, aren't we?
I don't mean the altitude. I mean the weight. This stump is liking us by about 20 pounds at least.
I'll tell you what, even if there are the most incredible things to eat over there, I'm not carrying any of them back with me. I'm going to wait for my bean sprouts and noodles. Frozen.
So why did they all let it?
Didn't you have the same problem in the Himalayas?
You're kidding, aren't you? They're positively cosmopolitan there these days. Litter, tourism, and the mighty dollar. Dressing room.
Well, I mean, this is rural China. The people in this area of Beijing just might as well be heaven. To the earliest Chinese, these mountains were the home of the most powerfully earthly and spiritual spirits. It's changed much. Communism, capitalism, hasn't really touched them here. Ancestor worship. That's their reality.
And what is it?
What? Ancestor worship?
Yeah,
Well, they believe you have two souls.
that's two more than I believe in.
Well, you've got to appreciate that Chinese and Western belief systems are different at the most fundamental level. Identity, for example.
What about it?
Well, to you or me, it's about being an individual. And for the Chinese, an individual is a person without a context. All identity is tied up with relationships for them. Familiar relationships being the most important.
They obviously never had a family like mine then. So how do you think? Do you becoming a member of the family?
I was suspicious at first, especially my blue eyes, and I still find the accent hard to bear. But once we were married, they accepted me. Well, they had to. It's the culture. Our relationship goes along in accordance with thousands of years of ritual.
It's going to get much colder than this soon. You'll be glad this tent's so small.
Can't we keep the heating on for just a little bit more?
Afraid not. People trying to reach paradise don't stop just because the road is hard.
What?
Read it in one of your books. And you're out taking a slash.
I knew you were more interested than you let on.
When I know. Thought I should read some of your books so I can pick which one to burn first.
You're not putting any in my books.
Come on, you know them all off by heart anyway, don't you?
Are you joking? You can never know them off by heart.
Yeah, but the gist of them. You can tell them in your sleep. You do tell them in your sleep.
What?
Well, either that or you have a really strange fantasy life. Monkey King.
What?
Last night, you were going on about Monkey King.
What about him?
I don't know. It all sounded like gobbledygook to me. Go on. Tell me a bedtime story then. About Monkey King.
Stop taking the piss.
Nah, really, tell me. Something past the time.
Okay. Monkey King. Well, Monkey King is a really old Chinese story. Nothing like as old as what we're looking for, of course. But who knows how far back its roots are?
Hey, story, not lecture.
Sorry. So, Monkey King is really the story of a journey to the west.
Like us.
Well, not exactly. Anyway, the Monkey King is rebellious and smart. He can transform into 72 different images. And using the clouds as a vehicle, he can travel 180,000 miles in a single somersault. Monkey King has many adventures. He claims to be king in defiance of the authority of heaven. He is only subdued it after many a battle, with the help of all the god warriors. He is commanded to be burned in the furnace, where his Daoist master, Shanglu Yen, refines his pills of immortality. But instead of killing him, the fire and smoke gave him a pair of fiery golden crystal eyes, which can see through people.
Your everyday action superhero.